we get started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week.
Only for Tyler Perry to admit he did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. He lied. Only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
And Shannon Sharpe might just be holding a grudge against Mo'Nique and Katt Williams. And honestly, after the way things went down, I wouldn't be surprised. Katt's interview wasn't just a hit, it was a takeover. That one sit-down had clips flooding every feed. And overnight, Shannon's couch turned into the spot for unfiltered, no PR team honesty. Then Mo'Nique slid in, aired out her blackballing story, and dropped some heavyweight names in the process. From there, it was like Shannon wasn't just hosting anymore. He was letting people say the stuff that usually stays behind closed doors. And that's when everything got messy. A late-night IG live he probably wishes never saw daylight. A lawsuit with audio receipts making the rounds. The job headlines everyone's already read twice. So now the question is, did those bombshell interviews put a target on his back? Or did Shannon's own slip-ups crack the door wide open? As you guys probably know, the Katt sit-down didn't trend. It swallowed the feed. Names, wild stories, claims that had people going at it in the comments for days. The full interview didn't just get views, it owned the timeline. And just like that, Club Shay Shay wasn't some casual podcast anymore. It became the place for unfiltered, no-holds-barred talk. Overnight, Shannon went from sports legend to the guy everybody wanted to watch play culture referee. That couch basically turned into a public confession booth. And right here is where it hit another level.
Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
See, once your show blows up like that, the game changes. You're not just the interviewer anymore, you are part of the story. People cheer for you, but they're also watching, just waiting for you to trip. And you could feel it in the air. Yeah, Shannon was hotter than ever, but the vibe got colder. Those viral moments made him huge, but they also made him a bigger target, which is why the IG live slip, the lawsuit, and the job drama had people saying maybe this wasn't just bad luck. Maybe someone was setting the stage. Right after Katt's interview shook things up, Mo'Nique came through and kept the momentum going. She sat in that same seat and got real about being blackballed, breaking down how the deals went and calling out the people she says were behind it. At that point, it was clear Club Shay Shay wasn't just having a lucky run. It was turning into the spot where Hollywood gets called out on camera.
Only for Tyler Perry to admit he did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. He lied. Only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong, and when my movie Boo come out, I'm gonna say that.
The reaction was immediate. Clips were all over social media. Old stories started resurfacing. People who never watched Shannon for sports were suddenly here for the culture talk. And with every clip, the stakes got higher. This wasn't just laughs anymore. It was about money, power, and who gets to keep working. That's when things started to change for Shannon. 2 huge back-to-back interviews had everyone watching him differently. Fans were loving it, but people in the industry were paying quiet attention. Views went up, bookings went up, but the vibe around him started to shift. Because once you give a platform to guests with big stories and nothing to lose, you're not just getting praise, you're getting watched. And that pressure followed him right out of the studio, straight into his first real mistake. Then came the moment nobody forgot, that late night IG live that never should have gone public. Shannon didn't play the I got hacked card. He admitted it, talked about it on his show, and tried to move forward.
Obviously, I'm embarrassed. Someone that is extremely private, and to have one of your most intimate details, the audio heard for the entire world to hear. I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons. People count on Shannon. Shay Shay Media, Club Shay Shay Nightcap, ESPN. There are a lot of people that count on Shannon to be professional at all times, and I always try to be professional at all times. Even when I'm behind closed doors, I still try to remain a level of professional, although I'm in the privacy of my own home.
Online, the takes were split. Some said 50 Shades of Shay. Others were like, it's funny how life sometimes humbles you. Unc was throwing Ocho under the bus few days ago and tried to say how unprofessional he was. And Lord and behold, look what happened. But no matter where you stood, the focus wasn't on his guests anymore. It was all on him. And by the time the laughter started to die down, the next headline was already on the way. Then came the lawsuit, and this time, it wasn't some rumor floating around. As y'all probably remember, a woman named Gabriela Zuniga filed a $50 million case against Shannon. Real paperwork, real court, and her side came with audio that hit the internet like wildfire. It got reposted everywhere. People were debating the context, and plenty decided they knew the whole story off a 30-second clip. Shannon pushed back hard, said it was twisted, missing context, and nowhere near what the internet was making it out to be. But once something like that goes public, you can't exactly put it back in the box.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so.
Fans were split again. Some were like, let the court deal with it. Others treated that clip like it was the final word. And behind the scenes, you could feel the energy shift. Brands and partners didn't blast out statements. They just went quiet. That's how it works. People wait to see where things land before they stand next to you. Meanwhile, Shannon kept showing up, lights on, cameras rolling, with a lawsuit hanging over his name. And that's when the setup talk started getting louder. Too many hits, too close together. And just as it stopped feeling like internet drama and started feeling real, that's when the job news dropped. After the court headlines, the job news came fast, and it landed hard. One week he was on TV like nothing had changed. Then suddenly he stepped back, and just like that, it was over. No big send-off, no emotional speech, just a quiet exit.
Now, ESPN confirming to NBC it's cutting ties with its NFL commentator Shannon Sharpe. The move coming after Sharpe, of course, the Hall of Fame tight end, settled a lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault and battery.
Before we get started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so, as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow.
It fell right next to a big family moment, and you could hear a little of that hurt in how he spoke on it. Losing a gig like that isn't just about the paycheck. It hits your pride. But here's the thing. Losing TV didn't mean losing his audience. The podcast was still pulling crazy numbers. Clips were still going viral. Bookings kept coming. The difference was in the narrative. Without the TV role, people stopped calling him the host with the viral couch and started treating him like the story.
And you keep on blacking out and your pulse is slow. Stop trying to fight the reaper, just relax and let it go. That's how high I was. Wow. I was high.
Summer 2025 brought yet another hit, this time from Jimalita Tillman, who filed a $20 million defamation suit against Shannon Ochocinco and Shay Shay Media. She claimed they pushed a false story about her marriage after that viral Usher concert moment. And this wasn't some messy back and forth online. This was an actual court filing.
Plan to do something about it. I'm taking this to Congress. This is not just stopping in the courtroom. This is about protecting all private citizens from people who have a bully pulpit, a cyberbullying pulpit that's funded by the tunes of tens of millions of dollars. Not only do they get money from advertisers, but they get money from monetizing click and bait and then licensing and resharing these shows. And that is why Chairman Guthrie, who was in charge of the House Committee on Energy and Commerce, and the other 54 members of that committee will be meeting with me this week so that we can put forth a hearing so that there can be legislation in place to be able to hold them accountable.
I know that's right.
The headlines moved fast. Clips got yanked and reposted. Debates flared over what was said, what was hinted, and whether it crossed a line. And once again, Shannon wasn't reacting to a guest drama. He was the headline. Now here's the part people skip over. Yes, the case was filed. Later, some outlets reported it was dismissed in federal court, but those updates weren't loud, and not every platform ran the same info. Anyone who's been near a court case knows paperwork timing can blur the picture. So, the facts stand. It was filed, there were later dismissal reports, but the status can read differently depending on where you look. Either way, the damage while it was active was real. Lawsuits like that slow down bookings, make brand deals, hesitate, and keep your name tied to controversy instead of work. Then there's the fan theory side, the idea that those back-to-back Katt and Mo'Nique interviews kicked the whole domino chain, or that Hollywood made sure to hit back. It's the cleaner story. Shannon gave people a live mic, they told the truth, and the machine decided to remind him who runs the game. Maybe that's what happened. Or maybe once the spotlight got that big, the room for mistakes shrank to nothing, and a mix of IG slips, private messages, and on-air moments tipped things over. What's not up for debate is how hot it got after those interviews. The heat never cooled. Every week, another clip, another headline, another reason for people to pick a side. And once the lawsuits landed, it stopped feeling like gossip. It was legal, it was public, and it had real stakes. So here we are, the paper trail's done, but the guessing isn't. Was Shannon taken out by the system, or did he hand them the ammo himself? With TV gone and legal trouble still in the air, his next move could flip the whole story, or lock it in for good. And if his name shows up in one more headline, we'll know. This isn't just another chapter. It's the moment everything turns or ends.